Right, hiya lads and lasses, and welcome to Darts Coaching with Dynamite Dave. Hi lads and lasses, and welcome to the journey back. Right, what is the journey back? The journey back is probably self-explanatory. I've had over 12 months off on and off, more than that. Obviously I had my operation, so I actually stopped making videos probably about a month or so before I actually had my operation, which was in October last year. Right, now you're probably wondering what I'm back on here doing waffling. Well, the journey back, the road back, the path back is of course me coming back to actually starting doing the videos and everything again and getting myself back into being a dart player. I've had a chuck on and off, it's all gone to pot, and it needs straightening out. So what am I doing on the way back? What I'm doing on the way back is I'm going to teach myself again how the Dynamite Dave way works, and I'm going to enact that, and I'm going to hopefully fetch myself back to where I was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, before this heart condition actually started. Obviously I wasn't the best for probably years before that, but I didn't even know it. But I was playing at a really good level and what have you, really enjoying it, enjoying doing the coaching, because as you'll probably know, or if you don't know and you're new to the channel, I've been doing this for 13, 14 years. A while before me heart operation I had a knee replacement, so it's been a bit of a rocky road for me. This will only be like 5 or 10 minutes, and then or you can wind forward onto the main video. That'll be section 1, which will be coming up in about 5 or 10 minutes time. I'd just like to tell everybody, because I've got some stalwart fans there that have been with me right from the beginning, and I like to tell them what's going on. So anyway, if you find this video interesting, if you find it informative and you find it good for you, please like, subscribe. There's a little button down there that says subscribe, costs you absolutely nothing, not one farthing. So click on that subscribe button and click on the notification bell and click all, and then every time I make a video it'll pop up in your emails or your notifications on your phone that I've made a new video. So right, let's get back on with it. Like I say, I've had a lot of traumatic experiences over the last 2 years, so to actually keep the channel together over that period of time, it means that it's been a little bit on and off. But from now on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and make at least 1 video a week going forward. These videos now might come a little bit thicker and faster than that, because it's the journey back, and obviously I've got to practice every day. So every day I'll be doing a little bit of a fly on the wall video of me actually practicing. You might not find them interesting, you might find them very interesting, but it's worth having a look and watching 4 or 5 minutes of them just to decide whether it's for you or not, because you'll actually be watching me correcting myself, probably talking to myself as well, because I'm daft as a brush. So you'll probably catch me talking to myself and telling myself off and what have you. So it might be quite interesting, it might be quite comical and all at times. So it's Dynamite Dave, The Road Back. So what we're going to do is we're going to get over into section 1 right now, and we'll get on with it, shall we? So let's get over into section 1. So let's go there right now. Right, here we are over in section 1. It's been a long time since I've done this, so might be a bit of editing required in this, but it's going to be a bit of a fly on the wall sort of thing, but I'm going to go through things the way that my mind thinks about things as we go on. So if you find this first video interesting, I'm sure you'll find the archives interesting. So if you're brand new here, whatever you do, go back and have a look at some of the old videos. I think you'll get hooked. Right, so what are we talking about? What we're talking about is the correct way to throw darts. For many years, when I first started this, I've been coaching now for, we're probably looking at 12 years on the YouTube channel, 14 years, 15 years actual coaching darts. So what's the difference between Dynamite Dave and virtually all the other darts coaches? See, I've been off the scene for 12 months, so you're probably going to have found people on TikTok and what have you who are teaching the things that I teach, but if you watch me and you watch them, you'll see that they haven't got a clear knowledge of what they're talking about. Basically, they watch 1 or 2 of my videos and they've gone off at their own tangent, and half of what they're saying doesn't make sense. I think you'll probably find that virtually everything that comes out of my mouth makes sense. Right, so first of all, what's the history of it? The history of it is, I started out playing darts exactly the same way as you probably did. Somebody gave me a set of darts when I was a kid, and all I did was hold them at the board whichever way I wanted. It didn't matter which way I threw them. I could have thrown them underarm, and that's how darts has been played since time immemorial, up until 10 years ago when I started this. Because absolutely no one, if you go back in the archives, you look 10-12 years ago when I first did my first ever video, nobody, you go back in YouTube and you try and find another video as old as mine or anywhere near as old as mine that's telling you the correct way to throw darts, because nobody believed that. Everybody believed that you threw darts, if your hand-eye coordination was good enough, you'd be good at it, which is where the professionals were, weren't it? That you give somebody a football, and some people can naturally work out in their own head how to kick it for it to be effective. Now, moving that on to other sports, obviously you've got, doesn't matter which sport we're talking about, does it really, at all? Whether it be archery, whether it be boxing, whether it be football, javelin throwing, throwing the discus, playing snooker, playing golf, playing rugby. If there's a right way to throw a rugby ball, there's a right way to throw a dart. Right or wrong? If there's a right way to kick a football, so basically if you've got little kids, you've got a couple of little lads and a little lass that like the game of football, would you for 1 second tell them just to bang it with their end of the toe and they can become the next Kevin Keegan, that's an old one, isn't it? The next Pele or the next Ryan Giggs or whoever it is nowadays, because I don't follow football. But whoever it is, are you telling me somebody could become a football player, toe bang, have no like ball control skills whatsoever, and become a world champion or a world renowned football player? Can't happen, can it? Because there's a right way to kick a football. There's a right way to control a football. There's a right way to throw a dart, and there's a right way to control those darts. It's just that nobody before me ever even thought of that. So what are we doing today? What we're doing today is we're starting on something that could be a shortish journey, or it could be a very long journey. I think it's probably going to be somewhere between the two. As I've explained in the old videos, and I'll explain it to you again today, I am not a natural dart player. I'm not naturally talented at throwing darts whatsoever. Short potted story, I was garbage. I was at work, I was off work because of an illness. I watched a video on the Discovery Channel, watched a movie on the Discovery Channel, a documentary, about a mechanical bow. And they were trying to split the arrow, so basically Robin Hood theory, trying to split the arrow from straight down the middle of the shaft. And obviously for that you have to have massive accuracy. They started off with somebody human trying to fire the bow. Wasn't particularly successful, shall we say, even though they were using the correct techniques and what have you. That type of accuracy is very, very difficult. So what they did was they built a mechanical they made a trolley and they built a mechanical bow on it. So every time they pulled that bow back, the string was at exactly the same tension. They fired it in an aircraft hangar where it was dead air, so there was no interference from crosswinds or anything like that. And eventually they managed to do it. Whether they'd be able to keep replicating that, I very, very much doubt, but it gave me the idea. I was sat on the couch thinking to myself, and I'd always played darts. I've played darts since I was about 6 or 7 years old. We had a dartboard on the back door in the 70s, or probably the late 60s, well, late 60s, early 70s, on the back of the bedroom door in the house. And we had these little brass darts with a plastic flight on them. We just used to chuck them at the board, and that's exactly what you did. And if you were good, you were good. My brother was fantastic, I was crap. Simple as that. But I loved the game, and I also enjoyed probably the part where I was getting to actually play something with my older brother, because normally, obviously, older brother don't want to know you, do they? Get out of it. But, you know, it was great to be able to play this game with my brother, He was really good at it, I wasn't very good at all. But I had the passion for it, so I loved it. Long story short, you get to your teenage years, you walk away from it. When you get to be an old man like me, you come back to it, because I must have been, well, I'm 60 now, so I must have been 50, 40, about 47, 45, in between 45 and 47 when I started this. So I'd come back to it, I started playing, and I was rubbish, absolutely rubbish. And then my wife said to me, just off the cuff, when I was ill and we were talking about darts, I think we were watching the BDO, if I remember rightly. I think we were watching the BDO at Lakeside. And the wife said to me, she said, well, there's got to be a right way of throwing darts, hasn't there, Dave? If there's a right way to do anything else, there's got to be a right way to throw darts. And then that sort of like just sparked me. And then obviously a couple of weeks after that, I was ill. Exactly the same thing, I was still ill. And I watched the documentary and I thought to myself, well, there's your answer, innit? It's got to be mechanical. And that's where the beginning of the mechanical cut throw came from. So that's the DD way, we call it the mechanical throw. It's a full setup, but we'll go through that in this video, in this first section. Right, so I think I've waffled for long enough, don't you, lads and lasses? So what we'll do is we'll get down to the bare bones of it. Now, like I say, what I'm going to do first of all, for the first 3 or 4 visits, I'm going to throw the way that I feel I should throw. So coming back to it, I have actually been out and I've played a few games with Dredge and what have you over a couple of weekends, etc. And let's just say I've not been very good. And the reason for that is poor technique. I knew that, but at the end of the day, it was just one of them things. It was more of a social thing than anything. But it's given me the passion to come back to it and start making the videos again for you. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to pick the darts up. These are the same darts as I had last time around. Just pulled them out of the case. So what we're going to do is I'm going to, like I say, I'm going to throw the way that I've been throwing at the pub. And if you're watching the board cam here, I'm actually throwing at the bullseye. Oh, I'm not too far off. Oh dear. Oh, that one bad. But I threw that with my thumb. That one wasn't too bad either. Right. One more visit. Right. Oh my word. Not, as you can see, not very, very successful. But like I say, I was just throwing there the way that I feel and the way that I've been throwing in the pub for the last few weeks. So what we're going to start now is we're going to start the journey back. So the journey starts from this point onwards. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to check myself and I'm going to make sure that I'm doing everything the correct way. So basically, the DD way, I'm teaching myself. So enjoy the journey, let's do it. Alright, so now I know this is going to be difficult and it's going to be a bit awkward and hurt a bit, but right, we're standing, as I've said in millions of videos, like that, only side on. So it's as if you're talking to your mate at the pub. So you stood at the thing, turn the toe slightly outwards, so I've got everything in the right position. Oh my word, that does feel awkward. Yeah, so we stand up, what we do is we fetch the arm back onto the stop, and the stop isn't where it used to be either. Right, yeah, fetch it back onto the stop and then allow your shoulders to come out very slightly. So the actual arm, you're looking from the side of it, but you can see that the arm is going directly at the bullseye. You don't have to be behind it, that is absolute rubbish that. You don't need to aim a dart. It's not a gun, it's not a bow and arrow. You don't need to aim it, there is no fixed sight on it. what you're doing is you're throwing a cricket ball or a baseball. You're actually throwing it, you're not aiming it. What you're doing is you're looking at where you want the dart to go. Same in cricket, you're looking at the wicket, you're throwing the ball at the wicket, you don't look anywhere else. If you're in the outfield and you're trying to knock them bails off before the actual cricketer gets to those bails to be in and safe, then you don't stand there with it like that, because you'd never even reach the wickets, would you? You come from the side here, smaller, smaller, smaller. Exactly the same theory. Right, so here we go. This is the first proper odd visit using the DD way. Right, so we're going to come over there, we're going to straighten it out. Oh no. That just seems fake, that, doesn't it? But it's not. I absolutely promise you it's not. That's the first delivery I've done using the Dynamite Dave way in, bloody hell, best part of 12 months. Actually consciously setting myself up properly and everything. Absolutely mind-blowing. And again. And again. Wow. Oh, believe it. I don't believe it. Wow. Well. Right, well, let's shut up, David, and have another couple of visits. Get yourself straightened out. Oh, see, I was trying to pull it with my hand then. Letting my brain get in the way. Worst thing you can do, let your brain get in the way. Right. Well, that's for other videos, that about overthinking. Right, come on, straightened up, nice and straight. Set yourself up properly. Let it come out. No, David. Back to reality. up onto the stop. See if you, when you get it right, look at that. Little bit limp on the last one, but that last visit there, I set myself up and my arm just went on its own. And if you allow it to do that, come over here, if you allow it to do that, it does the rest of the work for you. It really does. Now if you've never tried this way before, have a go at it. It'll just blow your brains out, it really will. And now I haven't gone viral and I haven't had a lot more recognition than I have had. I mean, I know I've got thousands and thousands and thousands of views and what have you, but I thought my videos would have gone a little more viral than they ever have done. But at the end of the day, it's darts, innit? It's not cats licking themselves or people jumping off buildings or politics, I suppose. It's a sort of a niche market, innit? People who actually play darts. There's millions of people who watch it who might actually think that this is quite interesting, but there's not as many who play it. Right, so now what we're going to do is, we've had a few goes at the bullseye, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and adjust up. It's probably a bit too early for this, but obviously you don't want to watch me for an hour just throwing at the bullseye. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to now adjust. As you can see, arm speed is exactly the same. I'm pulling them slightly to the right hand side, but that I think is because I've gone on the stop and I've not allowed my shoulder to come out far enough. I can see the board, but it's slightly obscured. Same again. I think it's taking a little bit to get the arm to sit on the actual stop. So even me, Dynamite Dave, who teaches this, I've still got to get back to the way that my muscles and everything are not acting the way that I would expect. So if you're starting off and you've been throwing a totally different way to this, please, whatever you do, don't expect it to happen in 5 minutes, because more than likely it won't. Some people, it can take them, I know one guy, it took him about 6 weeks to really get to it, but he had to stick to it. He kept ringing me up and saying, listen Dave, I'm going to go back to the way that I used to throw because it's not working. And I pleaded with him, I said please stick to it. He's throwing off 80s plus now, 90s. Or he was last time I spoke to him, which was about 12 months ago. So that just goes to show, if you're prepared to stick with it and you're prepared to stick to it, once your body adapts to throwing the right way, it's there forever. It's there forever. And it's simplicity in itself, innit? Oh, that was terrible. There you go. Back on the stop. Straight in, straight out. That 5 was right over to the side there because I allowed myself to sort of like not relax but drift. I allowed myself to drift. Obviously I'm talking to the camera at the same time, so that's understandable, I suppose. Right, so we've done the 20, so what now we're going to do is we're going to adjust down to the 19, because everybody says to me, if we do it your way, it's alright throwing for the bull, it's alright throwing for treble 20 because I'm just giving it a bit more power. That's not what you do. It's all in the body adjustment. The throw remains the same all the time without exception. That mechanical throw bit remains exactly the same, and all you do, as I've said a million times, like a tank, the gun comes down, boomf. You don't go drop that and then throw. What you do is you fetch everything down, so it comes to, you can throw exactly the same at every target. So at every target you have the same level of accuracy, shall we say. So when you throw for a double 10, if you're in the right position, absolutely naturally the dart goes in the double 10 or right next to it, and you've got a marker to put one in the double 10. So what we're going to do now is come down for 19s. So let's see if I get this adjustment right straight off, which I probably won't. Not far off. Look Look at that, beautiful, just natural. Not fantastic, because that's the first time I've done it in a long time. So I'm not expecting to be bang on to start off with, but I think it's not bad. I'm happy with it anyway. See, that was lovely and natural till it came to the 3, and then I allowed the dart to roll off my thumb. See, I can still feel things, I still feel like where I'm going wrong. Oh no, David, you were all over the place there. Right, come on. Not bad, not fantastic, certainly not complaining. Right, so now what we'll do is we'll go across the board somewhere else to finish this little section off, and then we'll come back for another video in another couple of days' time, or maybe even tomorrow, because obviously I've got to keep this up now. It's a path and a journey. I've got to try and do a bit of this every day. So what I might do is short videos, maybe a fly on the wall type of thing, 15-20 minutes every day, build up. See, because this is what I do say, is when you first take this up, 5-10 minutes, and then as you're getting a little bit more relaxed and what have you into it, 10-15 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes. I think the longest practice session you should ever be aiming at is an hour, and that's if you're going in for competitions. What I believe is practice, rest and contemplate. So if you've got 2 or 3 hours to practice, say you're on a day off, Mrs has gone out shopping or she's at work herself or what have you, and you think to yourself, right, I've got the full day to practice here, what I recommend you do is, if you're new to it, 10-15 minutes, go and have a sit down for half an hour, have a coffee, think about what you've done, think about, are you doing it correctly, is there anything else you need to have a look at. Best thing in the world that I can recommend to you, and I've done this all the way through right from the beginning, video yourself exactly what I'm doing here. Get one, obviously not like that because this camera's slightly off to one side. You want a camera right underneath the board. So even if you're using 2 old phones or anything, what you want is you want a camera underneath the board, and you want one at the front of you so you can actually see your action. Now the next video that I fetch out, I'm going to do a basics video, so it'll go through all the positions that you need to get yourself into to make yourself into a really good dart player. And then all it is, it's a matter of practice and allowing it to happen. Sticking to it. Next biggest thing, dedication. Roy Castle. Dedication's what you need, and you've got to stick to it. If you stick to it, you do regular practice, you don't come into your garage or your bedroom or wherever it is you have your board and do 3 visits and walk away. It must be structured. If you do structured practice with always playing the game at the end of it, because that's, let's face it, that's what we're here for. We're here to play the game. We're not here to throw darts at a treble 20, because anyone can do that. Doesn't mean that you're going to hit it very often, but anybody can throw darts at a treble 20. The whole idea of doing this is to get you more proficient at hitting targets, not one target, all of them. So then you can become a fantastic dart player, and that's where you want to be getting onto the Dynamite Dave practice sheets, and more importantly the board management sheet. The introduction to that is you read it, and what it does, it gives you a really good insight into the Dynamite Dave mindset. The practice sheets in coordination with the board sheets, they're as cheap as chips, they're on eBay. If you're outside the UK, drop me an email, dj.llewellyn123@outlook.com, or just Google Dynamite Dave and thingy, I come up. You'll get my email address, you'll get my WhatsApp number, and I'll tell you then how to get the sheets. Right, here we go. So what we're going to do first of all is we'll go I'm left-handed, so they tell me that double 10 is the easiest for me to hit and double 16 isn't. So what we'll do is we'll go for double 16. Yeah, beautifully. I've double 8 on the last one, so I've overpitched it slightly. But I think you'll agree, first dart, double 16, nothing to complain about. So now what we'll do is we'll come across, and what we'll do is we'll go for double 10. So the one that was supposed to be my easiest one to hit, I've not hit it. I'm not far off, I'm not too far off, so I'm not complaining. So I'm starting to get cocky now, and this is teaching me a lesson. Yes, hallelujah. So it's took me 3 or 4 visits to hit that first double 10, but now I know where it is. So that's the end of this video. Like I say, you're coming with me on a journey, so this is the first step of that journey, and I think it's been quite successful. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, don't forget, like, subscribe, big one that, subscribe, costs nothing, makes a big difference to the channel. So make sure you're subscribed. If you want to find me on Patreon or anything like that, if you want to contribute to the channel, absolutely fantastic. There's a lot of you out there that have not seen me for a long time, and there's some of you that have been sending me super chats and stuff like that all the way throughout the time that I've been off, and I really do appreciate that. I think it touches me very deeply, it really does. So thanks for your support, thanks for everything that you've done for me. Now don't forget, lads and lasses, you'll only ever get out of this game what you're prepared to put in. And always, 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 TO THE OCHE!